Hey VC, it's Ron. Thanks for stopping by. Hope everybody's been doing well. Okay, what is up for today? Well, I've got some 45s to show. I actually got two stacks. One stack is VCLT from Randy over at Deadwax 66. And the second stack will be stuff that I've picked up over the last several months. So nothing left to do but move over to the table and check these out. Alright, let's get started with the 45s. First up, the 45s that Randy sent me. And he sent me a few Norton 45s. The Ramrods, backed with Chuck Barr and the Playboys. So this is a split single. I believe this is all instrumentals. Early 60s, I can't remember, but I think it is. Now this one definitely is the Egyptians, and both sides are instrumental, and this is from 1960. Very cool instros out of Detroit, and the Sandy is not anybody's name. You might remember that Norton Records was flooded during Hurricane Sandy. A lot of their stock got ruined, and they were liquidating bags of 45s on their website. So I have a few other Sandy records, but it's always nice to get another one. And then the last Norton record that he sent me was Andre Williams' Poor Mr. Santa, rated XXX. Now I don't know if it's that hardcore, but it is dirty. And this is the clean version on the B-side, the version that you could play for the kiddies on Christmas Eve. And then once the kids are in bed, Mommy and Daddy can play the nasty version. Next we got Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps. Lot of lovin'. The Everly Brothers, Claudette, written by Roy Orbison. It's the B-side for All I Have to Do Is Dream. Then he sent me some Duane Eddy. So I got, now this record I did have, but it was in really bad shape. So this was definitely an upgrade for me. September 1959. Now, if I had to guess, I would say that picture was taken on South Mountain, which is a recreational park just south of Phoenix. You can drive all the way up to the top of the mountain. It's this huge mountain, and you can go up there and check out the city. It's really nice to go up there after it rains because all the smog's cleared out. So we just had a lot of rain yesterday, so there's probably a lot of people up there right now. So cool. Here's another Duane Eddy, Peter Gunn. September 1960. And then the final Duane Eddy with the picture sleeve that I got from him was Commotion. August 1960. Very, very cool song. It's got a little bit of orchestration in the backing track, but no loud horns or anything like that, I don't think. But the twangy guitar on that one is just off the charts. So cool. Now, this last two I already had. Rebel Walk by Duane Eddy and Poor Jenny by the Everly Brothers. So, yeah, thanks Randy. Those are very, very cool. Now, this next pile I have is stuff that I've been picking up lately over the last several months. And we'll start off with a non-album 45 by The Third Rail. This was released in '68 after their album came out, and it's a really awesome garage version of The Shape of Things to Come. And it's got Joey Levine on lead vocal. You know, you might know him. He's like the king of bubblegum. And the B-side is She Ain't No Choir Girl. So this is on YouTube, so check it out. This is a later 45 by the 1910 Fruit Gum Company from 1970 on the short-lived Super K label. And the track, that's a B-side instrumental. And it's the backing track for another record. It's the backing track for Terry Nelson's Inch by Inch. She was a female soul artist. But I have to admit, man, it's just a really cool instro. And this is the Rattles, The Witch. No, it's not The Witch by the Sonics, it's a different song. It's got heavy wah-wah guitar. This record is from 1970. They were a German beat band that was started in the early 60s. And this was issued here in the States on ABC Probe. Now I don't have a Probe sleeve, I have a Command sleeve. Probe sleeves are really hard to find. Maybe one day I'll come across one, but it does have the Probe name right here, so I just went ahead and used it. This is an odd one from Mickey Dolenz, Daybreak, which is taken from the Apple film Son of Dracula, starring Harry Nilsson. Now, Harry sings it for the movie soundtrack, but this has got Mickey doing it. So I don't know what the story is on this. Is it just him doing it, or was he originally slated to be on the movie soundtrack? I don't know, but I know Harry did a very good version of this compared to Mickey's version. So it's a promo, and it's got mono on one side, stereo on the other side. Now there is a pressing of this where they misspelt Mickey's name. It's Mickey. But that's an odd label. Evidently it's an MGM sub-label. Alright, this one's real cool. Neil Hefti, Batman theme. I picked that up at the Antique Mall. January 1966. And there's the B-side Batman theme. Now both of these tracks are taken from the album. But yeah, every once in a while, if you're lucky, you might come across the 45. But the sleeve is a little tough. And here's Destroy All Monsters. They were a Michigan band. And this record was issued in 1978, I believe. And the cool thing about it, look at that, it's got Ron Ashton from the Stooges on lead guitar. His guitar work is killer. Absolutely killer. And this is the first pressing on the cardstock sleeve. And it's on some weird label, some weird small label. Tracks are Bored, and You're Gonna Die. Cool. Now this next one is Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is a UK sleeve that was originally issued only with a picture or a flexi disc for Brain Salad Surgery, which was a non-album track that wasn't on the actual album Brain Salad Surgery. And it was actually with this 45, which is Jerusalem, taken from the album, and then it's got this non-album B-side on it. So evidently somebody took the record, which didn't have a picture sleeve, and they stuck it with the flexi disc sleeve. But man, that is such awesome artwork by Geiger. So cool. And then this is the US sleeve for Brain Salad Surgery. You can see the difference in the two. Yeah, this has got a little bit more of you know what right there. If you know what I'm talking about. Here it's pretty faded out. It's all washed out so you can't see it. Yeah, so this is promo only. It's weird that that isn't on the album, but it actually came out after the album was already out. But good song though. Okay, I got a couple more here. Susie and the Banshees, Dear Prudence. Now I picked this up at the Antique Mall. It's got the cardboard sleeve, limited edition with a trifold open up sleeve. And it's got pictures of the band members. Yeah, this is a pretty psychedelic 45. It's got the Beatles' Dear Prudence cover version, and it's got a song called Tattoo, which is non-album. Yeah, pretty cool. And a cool thing about this particular issue is it has paper labels. And a lot of these will have the mold injection labels. So, released in 1983, limited edition. So yeah, that was a cool find. And the last one this was a pretty recent pickup for me. I just picked it up last week. I had never heard of this guy. It's a local Tucson record from the early 80s. It's hard rock. And this guy, he has to be a child prodigy because he plays every instrument on this record. Bass, drums, keyboard, guitar. He sings. I never heard of this guy. But he went on to join a heavy metal band whose name escapes me right now. It was a weird name. That's why I don't remember. But yeah, I picked this up for a $5. And yeah, they go for a lot more than that. So very cool. Came with this lyric sheet on the inside. Well, actually this is a sleeve. It's got the lyrics, and it appears that it's autographed by him right there. So that was a cool pickup to add to my Arizona collection. This is a good record. 4-song EP. So cool. It's his only record that he put out. Alright, and the last thing that I got, it's this postcard. And this is a really nice photo postcard. If I can get it out. Let me get it out of here so you can check out the beauty of this thing. Awesome, awesome shape. This is an original from the early 60s, and this is the band. I looked up on how to pronounce that, but I'm not going to attempt it at this point. But translated into English, it's the Wildcats. And there's a bunch of videos on YouTube about this band. They were formed in '61 and broke up in '64. And but the original lead singer, he was only in the band for like a year and a half, and then he left, and they got somebody else, and he was nowhere as good. And the band lost popularity because of that. And so, yeah, that is German for real photo. So this is not a French postcard. This is a German postcard. And when I got it at Antique Mall. And there was some other ones. There was like Bobby Rydell and, you know, like the real lightweight American pop singers at the time. There was a Cliff Richard. He was UK. But I grabbed this one for $3, so I didn't know who they were. But yeah, maybe I'll stick a video on of these guys here. We'll see. But yeah, they were, you know, pretty lightweight pop stuff, but they did the rock out too. So yeah, they were a good band. Alright, I'm adding this section of video as an afterthought. I forgot to dig these records out and show them with my original video. So I'm just tagging this on. What I have here is Long Green by the Breakers on Selmore Records. And the B-side is Splivet Shuffle. Now, I found 6 copies of this at the record store, and they were all $20 a piece, and I bought every one of them. And I kept the 2 best copies for myself, and I sent one to Randy, and I sold 3 copies online for $400. Now these are the nicest ones, so these are worth at least $300 for the pair. And so it's a pretty rare record. Not much is known about the band, other than they could quite possibly be out of Wichita, Kansas, according to Discogs. And there's no other records on this label either, Selmore. So it's a pretty unique piece. And yeah, real good. Sort of a raw, raunchy cover version of Long Green, originally done by the Kingsmen. And then on the flip, this is actually their song, and they sampled 2 well-known songs. And this is Rocket Soul, and they sample Harlem Shuffle by Bob and Earl, and they sampled Shake a Tail Feather by the 5 Dutones. So, beautiful shape. And this is the original sleeve. They were all in this same sleeve with like a V-notch. So, yeah, pretty crazy find. And this is Hodad Hootenanny 2 on Crypt Records. They released it in 2015. It's a double album garage comp. And you guessed it, there's the Breakers, Long Green right there. Now this is the only comp that I know of where that record is been featured. And yeah, there's usually, you know, they'll have liner notes, maybe a band photo if you're lucky. None of that for the Breakers. So that's why I say, man, they're a mystery group for sure. So that's going to do it. Thanks for stopping by for the video and checking these out. And I will, next video will be albums. So I'll see you guys in the future.